All right, welcome back. I'm back again. Get used to me getting online here live and uploading content on this channel. As I said in the previous live stream, I've been ordered. I am under strict orders to produce this content. Plus, I enjoy dealing with racism. I enjoy dealing with controversial topics because I feel like I have a take that might help some people. All through my life, I've taken a lot from a lot of people. Anything that I can take and use for myself in a way that'll benefit me, I've taken it. And, you know, I used to deal with race-related topics here on YouTube for a while, long ago. It's around 2007. And it just started to really stress me out. Like really bad. I started growing gray hair. My nerves were just very unsettled. It stressed me out extremely bad. I could feel it affecting my heart. So I backed up off of it. I said, you know what? There are plenty of other people out here putting out the message. People who might have a better grip, a better grasp, better control over their own emotions. With me, it was just too frustrating and stressful. So I backed up off of it and I started talking about other things. I started talking about a whole bunch of other things, from boxing to mixed martial arts to dogs, believe it or not. A video talking about how much I don't like dogs. But then I started to come under scrutiny from my teacher, my mentors, if you will. And they pointed out how, you know, criminal it almost is for me to have so much knowledge and experience and not pass it down to the subsequent generations. So I'm here to do that, and I enjoy doing it. And I do regret taking such a long break. Now, many of you have heard of this story, surfaced yesterday. I'm not sure exactly when the story broke, but the video went viral. Okay, this is recent news. And I said I'd keep up with everything that goes on this month because during Black History Month, you notice that a lot of stories like this pop up. You know, people want to be the next viral video character. So they act out. And it's also a month where evil, wicked, demonic racists, that is when they surface and they start to put in work because they are annoyed at all the black stuff on TV. Uh-oh, wait a minute here. Wait a minute, I clicked something. They're annoyed with all the black stuff. They go to Google, they see some something black history, this, you know, they have ads here. They might have something at their job where they acknowledge Black History Month and might put up a flyer or something. And racists get annoyed by that. Racists get annoyed by that. Some of them, I'll say. I'm sure some of them don't care. They can just ignore it. And a lot of them show themselves during Black History Month. So look, this video took place in Missouri, I believe. No, Philadelphia. There's another story, something else that took place in Missouri that we'll get into a little later. This took place in Philadelphia. Now watch this.
Caught in this shocking racist video. spray painting one girl's face black and making comments like this. In another part of the video, appearing to mock Black History Month.
You're a black girl. You know your roots. It's February.
The appalling video posted on social media and then shared widely, leading to protests outside St. Hubert's Catholic High School for Girls, where 3 of the...
Okay. So this viral video sparked protests outside of a Catholic school. Let's back that up a little bit.
Media and then shared widely, leading to protests outside St. Hubert's Catholic High School for Girls, where 3 of the teens are students, according to the Archdiocese of Philadelphia.
How dare they? Something needs to be done today.
Parents and civil rights activists calling on the school and Archdiocese to take immediate action.
I want justice.
Now, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I have to butt in. And that's YouTube policies. You have to comment on videos, whatnot. And I want to comment on that. Let's back that up. This stunt by these students sparked physical protests outside of a Catholic school for girls. 2 of those girls, the white girls, attend that Catholic school. You got this sign that says, "Condemn and confront white supremacy." Okay, this is all in response to that viral video.
Protests outside St. Hubert's Catholic High School.
Prejudice create pain. No more racism.
For girls.
You know what bothers me most about this is the lack of power. The lack of mental strength on display on the part of the black people. Just because some doofus, brain-damaged sicko acts out in an offensive way to you to sort of insult your existence doesn't mean your heart rate has to increase in response to it. Look, black people got bad hearts enough as it is. You know, we cannot allow each really cringe, goofy video like this, stunt like this, get to us whatsoever. We need to be the coolest people walking this earth. And I feel some high blood pressure in this crowd. I detect high blood pressure up in here. Their pulse is racing. They are distraught. They are very disturbed. Their nerves are through the roof. All in response to this goofy, low IQ video. I don't like that. I'm uncomfortable with that. I want to see strong responses. A response to this video that would indicate that you're mentally strong. And I don't think this is it. This is not it. Like I said before, if these 2 girls can do this on camera without even dropping an N-bomb, if they can do this on camera and cause 20 black people's heart rate to increase, they have power over those 20 black people. That's a degree of power that they have over you. And that is a degree of power I am not willing to fork over to some low IQ dirtbag goofball. That said, I do agree with the idea of attacking the attitudes, the complete insensitivity. I do understand that, and I do think that that is necessary. But I think it should be done in a different way, primarily done, and matter of fact, exclusively done by the parents of these children, the elders of their white community. If anybody is going to get upset and enraged let it be their own parents in their own community. Do not give power, because if this is the case, then that means each and every racist white person on the earth has power over black people. If we get this bent out of shape in response to something like this. Now, I have no problem with black people saying, hey, this is inappropriate. These girls need to be disciplined. Okay? They need to know that this is something that's unacceptable. I have no problem with that. But let it be done on their side. Let it be their parents. Let it be their faculty. Let it be the school or whoever else is going to punish these students. Don't get mad. I hate to say, but don't get mad. Because look, once you know yourself and you have true, genuine self-confidence, stuff like this just don't bother you. It don't bother you. And I'm not saying that it's acceptable, but just do not let it bother you like that. I mean, this is really goofy in my opinion.
Widely, leading to protests outside St.
And it's strange. It's very weird. Spray painting her face black and she's saying you're a black girl, you know your roots. It fascinates me how any white people at all, are fascinated with black people to the point where they pretend to be us. That's just fascinating. Look, I personally, I've never been around a black person who painted their face white, put on a wig, and pretended to be a white person. It's it's very weird to me. And to me, it comes across as conscious sarcasm. They're being sarcastic and they know it. They're being disrespectful and they know it. Okay? Along with this soullessness, where there's not a drop of blood or regret or embarrassment in their body that their own ancestors were responsible for such inhumanity. No regrets. The Jewish community, I would never make fun of or try to reenact anything that they went through. The Japanese, you had Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I would never reenact or make mockery. I mean, this is mockery, blatant mockery. I have no desire to. That would do nothing for me. And it's disrespectful. I mean, if anybody were to make mockery of such a history, of such a tragedy, then you'd have black people checking them on that. Like, oh, that ain't funny. Tens of thousands of people were killed within seconds. Okay, I ain't feeling that. You trying to make a joke out of that? But here it's fascinating at how these people are configured, where they're just completely desensitized. It is fascinating. But whatever you do, be fascinated. That's cool. Don't get your blood pressure up. Because what's the end zone? What's the end result? They make fun of you. You get sent to an early grave. Because they made fun of you so many times when you're alive and you got upset and enraged each and every time. Now you dead at 50 years old. They got power over you. Okay? You take power from them when you don't give them the reaction that they're looking for.
Every month.
You're a black girl. You know your roots.
The appalling video posted.
You know what else this tells me? That Black History Month annoys a lot of white people. They get sort of offended by it. And that's part of the reason why they don't have any problem making mockery of it. I detect this. It annoys a lot of white people. Oh, here we go again. For a whole nother month, we got to listen to Martin Luther King this, Malcolm X that, Black history this, Black people don't be insensitive, understand what we've gone through. It annoys a lot of them. They knew that this would resonate with many within their community. So let's talk about it. If it annoys you so much, you might want to move to a white state, wouldn't you? Where you didn't have to acknowledge Black History Month, because you do not live in a diverse, integrated state. You live in a white state. And there's nothing you can do about this. Let's continue with this. Do I got the captions on? What is this? Okay, no, I don't.
Posted on social media and then shared widely, leading to protests outside St. Hubert's Catholic High School for Girls, where 3 of the teens are students, according to the Archdiocese of Philadelphia.
How dare they? Son needs to be dead today.
Parents and civil rights activists calling on the school and Archdiocese to take immediate action.
I want justice. I want reform. They have to do something.
Nicole Hines saying she pulled her daughter out of the school after alleged racist conduct.
They would scream the N-word, or they would, just a lot of microaggressions, pull on their hair.
In Philadelphia, what is this? Philadelphia has a heavy Black population. What school is this? They tried to go to some white school, send your kids to some white Catholic school out in the suburbs? What? That's a whole discussion to itself. It's like, what are you doing that for? Your peers are important. You want a diverse school, man. So, probably, now, let me not say that. I don't know what school it is, but I know a lot of Black people in Philadelphia.
They would scream the N-word, or they would, just a lot of microaggressions, pull on their hair and laugh about it, video it.
The Archdiocese says it was only made aware of that video yesterday, but has seen it and forwarded the matter to the Office of Catholic Education. This video, recorded off school grounds, is no less disturbing.
You're nothing but a slave.
You hear what she said? She said, you're nothing but a slave. She said, you're nothing but a slave. I made a video, it's on this channel, where I said that people around the world, they're always, when they look at Black Americans, the first thing they're going to think is that your ancestors were slaves. I'm telling you, it shapes our very existence in the eyes of non-Black Americans. And I'm saying everybody who's not Black American, including Blacks who are not Black American. When they see us, when they think about us, it's in their mind, even if only subconsciously, but really it's on a conscious level. These are the children of slaves. Children of slaves. Your ancestors were slaves. You're nothing but a slave. You see, they're up here making mockery of it. I've tried to tell you. And look, even the people who are nice to you still see you as children of slaves. That's a big reason why they're being so nice to you. Some of them, not all of them. Some of them there are a lot of people in the world who deal with you based on your character. Just straight up based on your character. We know that people are all races who are that way. But these people, I'm telling you, when they see you, that's always in the back of their mind. So to this government, you sort of tarnished our image. You tarnished our image with something that you physically did to us. And we need to be compensated for it. We need that reparations check, and we need that piece of land carved out for us. Give us our state. Give us our check. A people like that deserve a nation of their own. That is actually the least that you could do. That's the least that you could do. You've created this messy house, and you act like you don't want to do nothing about it. Do nothing to fix it. That's irresponsible. That's not going to go on forever. Oh, let's just hold hands and sing a song. That ain't going to work. Let's continue.
Office of Catholic Education. This video recorded off school grounds is no less disturbing.
You're nothing but a slave. And after this, you're doing my laundry.
A fourth teen in the video was...
So after this, you're doing my laundry. And listen, there are always going to be white people who think like this. They're always going to be. This is with any population. You can't get an entire population of people and tell all of them, tell millions of people, each and every one of you need to be sensitive to Black history. None of you are allowed to laugh at anything about history. None of you are allowed to make mockery of slavery or lynchings or George Floyd. None of you. That's unrealistic. There are always going to be some in there who do things like this. So I don't co-sign with no sensitivity training, goofy nonsense like that. No thanks. Give me my check. Give me my state. That's what I want. Okay, let's finish.
Was from another school, Franklin Town Charter, issuing a statement condemning hateful behavior and saying the former student who took part has, quote, no place at our school. It's unclear.
No, these were just students who got caught. And all the other students who get off on stuff like that, they're aware of that. They're aware, oh, they just got busted. No place at our school. The people who said this, who made this policy, said no place at our school, this has no place, they probably engage in this type of stuff as well. And the students know that the person who made this rule probably engaged in stuff like that or laugh at it themselves. But you're just not supposed to get caught. Keep it behind closed doors. You don't record it and then post it to social media. Goofy. And listen, they recorded it and posted it to social media. Don't you think they knew full well it might go viral and that they might get in trouble? They wanted to be famous. They wanted the fame. If not, they might have wanted it. So it's a big waste of time. Now listen, this video gets worse. Listen.
The student was enrolled at the time of the video. The Archdiocese issuing a statement calling the behavior vile and saying the students allegedly responsible are not present in school and are being disciplined appropriately, adding any other students involved will also face disciplinary action. Quote, we take this opportunity to be abundantly clear that there is no place for hate, racism, or bigotry at St. Hubert's or in any Catholic school.
Okay, young Black people. For me, this is enough. This is enough. You have the school board or whatever. They come out against it. They speak against it. We will not have it. They say they're being disciplined. Okay, let the process work itself out. All the while, I'm calm, cool, and collected. No, I'm not on the street protesting after some or over some goofy video like that. No, I'm not going to go through all that now. Just report it and be cool. All right, Black people, we need to learn how to chill out and stop getting excited. And we need to develop true, genuine confidence. When you're truly and genuinely confident, nobody can bother you. Nobody gets under your skin, especially with stuff like this. Now, let me take that back. They will get under your skin, but not by a goofy video like this. Okay, we got to be stronger than this.
community leaders are calling for more.
Look. These people are congregated outside. They have put blood, sweat, and tears. They up out here, got cameras, hooping and hollering. Man, no, not in response to this. No, this shows that it's just far too easy to get us to come out of our skin, to get us to lose composure. I'm sick of seeing that. I want to see mentally strong black people. And we need to do whatever we got to do to acquire a strong mentality. Trust me, a lot of people who are not black Americans wish that we would respond that way and not allow the dumbest, most cringe, goofiest, low IQ of people to get us bent out of shape and literally send us to an early grave. That's giving them power over you. Stop doing that. Oh boy, this thing get worse. Let's finish.
When I saw the video, it was a form of oppression and a form of marginalization.
He said that video was a form of oppression. A form of oppression. Now listen, I do understand and agree that when a white person in this country, when a white person makes a verbal attack against a black person, that has more power than a black person hurling insults at a white person. Because if white people are doing that, you have to remember they also have the power to have a negative impact on your existence in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Those same white people who hurl insults might end up as some politician, president even, some governor, some mayor or whatnot, wherever, and they'll have an easier time acquiring those types of positions. Okay, so them viewing black people as less than and the enemy, that can manifest itself in reality. Okay, that said, that's a little too much. A form of oppression? No, I don't feel oppressed at all. I cringe. That goofy video, I cringe and don't think nothing of it. I know my history. I know enough about my history where something like that don't bother me.
When I saw the video, it was a form of oppression and a form of marginalization.
Chad Dion Lassiter, director of the Pennsylvania Human Rights Commission, says the Civil Rights Enforcement Agency is offering bias and cultural sensitivity training to the school.
Oh, cultural sensitivity training. I'm tired of that. No more. No more. No more. What good is that going to do? On the video, these girls are saying it's February. Know your roots. It's Black History Month. You're my slave. They already know history. You want to take them back to a museum and show them the history that they was reenacting on the video, and you think that's going to help? Oh, I understand what you went through. I'm not a racist anymore. I no longer think it's funny. I'm no longer humored or tickled, at the memory of you bringing me my coffee, fetching my slippers. Oh, I don't think it's funny anymore. You can't do nothing about this. Stop that. Stop that. No more Black History Museum sensitivity training. Just cut my check and cut my land. Check, land. Okay? And while you at it, cut white America their land as well, where people like this girl and her friend can move to if they tired of being around black people. All right, you got to separate these two groups. Give them the option to separate. And it might be the best interest of this country That might be in the best interest of this, probably the best thing this country could do.
Is offering bias and cultural sensitivity training to the school.
I think it's very important for these young people to know what blackface is. But we also need to make sure that we're not assuming that they don't know what blackface is.
They know what it is. See, you think that if they know what it is, they'll no longer think it's funny? It is because they know what it is why they think it's funny. Damn, just accept that some people learn about our history and laugh. Just accept it. There are people out there like that. Stop having this history phobia or this phobia where you don't want to believe that there are people out there like that. Yeah, there are people out there like that. People are they're wired different, man. Nothing you can do about it. Yeah, they find out that we were enslaved by their ancestors. Their ancestors enslaved our ancestors. When you fill them in on the knowledge of that history, they laugh. They think it's fun. My slave. And after they learn it, they go out to Walmart or whatever. Look, there's my slave. Oh, I got another slave over here. Yeah, there are always going to be people in the population who think like that, who are completely insensitive to our history. Stop trying to make us believe that it's even possible to make an entire population of people act the same way or act any one way. Cut that out. People, we're smarter than this. We got to act like it, and we got to do what's right, what makes sense, and we need real solutions. We need to stop getting bent out of shape over stuff like this. When I see stuff like this, these girls strike me as very sick, brain damaged individuals. And that's it. And I'm very happy that I don't have their brains. I'm very lucky to not have their brains. Okay? I view this type of behavior as beneath me. Like I said, I don't get off on other people's misfortune. So these are literally people who are beneath you. And I know that probably hurts a lot of people to recognize. But sick, twisted, evil racists are beneath you. Respond to their rhetoric as such. Right? Don't give them power over you in your heart.
But he says outside the classroom is where the work really needs to occur as well.
The school can do what they need to do, but the work really in earnest has to happen in the community, in those homes.
And there's no way to enforce that. So just drop it. We all know that the only way it's even possible to have this harmonious society, it has to take place in the home. And you know that's not going to happen. Not in every single home. So just drop the whole argument and idea. And give those people the option who don't want to live around lunatics like this to move to a state of their own. White America, Black America, mixed America. You know, in the mixed America, it'll just be the same America we have now. Go where you want, live where you want, marry who you want, do what you want. Okay? But in our own states, we run them the way we want. That needs to happen. It needs to happen. Or else this country is going to fall apart. It's falling apart now. It's been falling apart for a long time. And you need to do something major. Major changes need to be done. And they should have been done 1967. Okay? Why do you think this government, the same government that enslaved us, wanted to support integration? Why do you think that? Why do you think the government supported integration? Integration. Why? It is because it would give them more power and control over us. Again, slavery was integration. It was a very close type of closer than the integration that we have right now. So integrated black women were raising their kids. Come on, man. Now, I know they don't want to see us taking care of ourselves and not being under their authority. Too bad. You don't want to be under anybody else's authority. So what you talking about? We need our own state and we need that check. Now, I think there's something else crazy on here.
All right, that video hard to watch, Valerie Castro.
It's not hard to watch. It's not hard to watch. Hard to watch in the sense that it's cringe and you're looking at people with mental disorders. But I'm not heartbroken, not distraught. My blood pressure, you don't let your blood pressure go up. If nothing else, just laugh. Laugh with them.
For joins us now. Valerie, do you know anything more about the investigation or the punishment that these girls may face?
So the Archdiocese says there is an ongoing review of the incident, and they, quote, don't want to leave any stone uncovered. As for possible punishments, they say it ranges from a minimum of suspension with counseling. The maximum, of course, would be expulsion. The school has gotten some general threats.
Okay. Listen, my young black people, nothing is wrong with you. There's nothing abnormal about being black. Your skin color is 100% natural. Okay? This is foolishness. Do not let people try to make you feel like something's wrong with you. When you know and truly believe that there's nothing wrong with you, nobody can make mockery of you as if something's wrong with you. Okay? Like I said before, our history strengthens us. It strengthened us. We need to show that strength. Show it. Okay? Know how to control it. Know how to channel it. Know when to become emotional. What to become emotional about. And don't go overboard when you do. There needs to be a balance. Okay, we cannot, and look at this. Now, y'all heard about, this was the other story that went down. Where was this is UK. This took place in the UK. Now, this is some other story. I don't think I can show that video. But it's a fight. They had a scuffle. One girl, a black girl, was in a physical fight with 10 girls, they said. 10 different girls. Now, here's the video on Twitter. Let me see here. Oh, wait a minute.
Move.
So she just walks up and they start fighting. They just walked up to this black student and started fighting her. Now, the black girl started beating up the white girl. Okay, now as she's getting hit, another girl comes in and they start jumping her. Now, the black girl, she doesn't take a really bad beating. But this is a very sick video because they have little 10 and 11-year-old girls out here participating in it. This woman, this lady, who's, I guess, the mother, she's coaching them the whole time. Listen to this.
Get my phone! That's it, Margaret! That's it! Take the head, punch the face off her!
You hear? That's the mother. She's saying kick her in the face, kick her in the head. She's like a coach off to the side. She's coaching them. This is pretty crazy.
Punch her face and kick, get her head beat off the floor! Beat her off the floor!
There are people just driving by in cars looking. The 11-year-old jumps in, starts kicking the black girl in the face, start pulling her hair. You see people driving by in cars just looking. When did this surface? This just took place. This article surfaced yesterday. Right? Breaking news. February 8th. Okay, this was posted on Twitter February 8th, 2 days ago. This was in the UK. So they have a problem there as well. Race problem there. And hey, UK, y'all probably should fight for your own piece of land as well. You know, that might be in your best interest. But racism runs rampant throughout the world, and it varies from country to country. Okay, and I have a hard time seeing it going anywhere. So, you know, I don't worry about stuff that I can't change. And I truly don't think there's a way to simply erase racism. The whole world would have to catch amnesia. We have to totally lose memory. Because as long as people know that our ancestors were enslaved by their ancestors, there's going to be some people within that population who get a sense of superiority. And actually, it's almost difficult for them to not develop this sense of superiority over black people. We enslaved you your whole life, conquered you. Really? Really? Then we hit you with Jim Crow laws, wouldn't allow you to do this. Really? We exercised that much power over you. Really? You're my equal. You think everybody is going to find out about our history here in the United States and reach the conclusion that we're equals? No, there's always going to be a number of white people who view us as being beneath them, inferior to them, be it intellectually or whatever. And they're going to always feel like they should be in power and in control over you. That's the natural order of things, to have power and authority over you. And really, integration largely is about a group of sick people who get off on having power and authority over black people and having the ability to impact the quality of our existence. Right? I think there's a real sick mentality behind this push on part of the government for integration. Because again, the black grassroots were not seeking integration. Most people think that was black people's idea. No, it wasn't. It was very similar to Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is not a black American organization. Black people during the 60s, they were seeking equal funding so that they could build their infrastructure. But some people out there thought about it. And then they say, you know what? Allow integration, their businesses will crumble because ours are better. Why would they shop at their rundown businesses when they can go to an elaborate shopping mall in the suburbs and make our business class more rich and wealthy? Why should we lose out on potential money that they'll be spending on our businesses just so they could spend it among themselves? No, we don't want to allow their business class to flourish. All the more reason why we need our own state. All right? Let's stop playing games. I want to hear some real solutions being talked about. Sensitivity training ain't it. Now look at this. This surfaced last month. The governor tried to ban African American studies. I know everybody's heard about this, right? Moral racism for you. Nobody would be able to ban African American studies if you're in a black state.
Incomprehensible that to see that this is what this ban, or this block, to be more specific, that DeSantis has put forward. If you think about the study of Black Americans, that is what he wants to block. And again, these types of actions aren't.
Okay, so there's a class, there's a group, and it's the governor. I mean, if the governor's pushing to ban it, I'm pretty sure he speaks for a lot of white people. We don't want to know about your history. We don't want to hear about your history. We don't want to hear about how we enslaved you. We don't want to hear about the boat ride and all the terrible things you went through. We don't need that. We don't want that on our conscience. We just want to live our life. Okay, for white people like that, give them their own state where they don't have to have African American studies. Give them their own state. I'm not out here trying to convince people to love me. Nah. No. My dream is not to get you to love me. Now, it would be nice if we had world peace and people, didn't operate on racism. If racism didn't exist, oh yeah, that would be a dream-like world. But that's not the world we live in, man.
New. They are not new from what we're seeing, especially from Florida, sadly. Florida currently bans teachers from talking about who they are and who they love. As we've talked about many times here in this briefing room, they have banned more books in schools and libraries than almost every other state in the country. And let's not forget, they didn't block, be more clear, I want to make sure I'm using the right word here. They didn't block AP European history. They didn't block our music history. They didn't block our art history. But the state chooses to block a course that is meant for high achieving high school students to learn about their history of.
That is because Black American history causes a lot of white people a lot of anxiety. It makes them uncomfortable to hear how horribly their ancestors did our ancestors. That's just what it is. And they would rather not hear about it. But it's funny. You wouldn't hear about it if you didn't take the class. I mean, this is a class we're talking about. If you don't want to hear about Black studies, don't take the class. There ain't no major that requires you take African American studies. If I'm not mistaken, that's like something that you can take by choice if you want to. There's a name for classes like I took African American studies in college. So this governor is like, look, I don't even want to give students the option to learn about your history. And that includes you. I don't want Black people to be learning about their history and what they've been through. Okay, so you got some real totally insensitive, and I don't want you to be sensitive. If you don't want to be sensitive, I don't want you to be sensitive. Because if you tried, it'd be fake anyways. You know what? It would be nice if you were, I think sensitive is the wrong word. Respectful is a better word. These people have absolutely no respect. This is a respect issue. I think sensitivity and being sensitive is the wrong word. These people have so much contempt for Black American history that they don't even want to give a school the option to learn about it. No, not on a academic level. No, you want to learn about Black history? Do it on your own time. Go home, use the internet, get a book or something. But we're not going to officially teach it in the college. We don't even want that because it causes a number of them a lot of anxiety, especially the ones who appreciate that their ancestors did what they did. And there is a great number of them who believe that. They will reflect on history and they say, you know what? That was a horrible thing. Yeah, I feel sorry for you here. Let's hug. That was horrible what your ancestors went through. But I am thankful that my ancestors put you through it, because look at this beautiful country that my ancestors forced your ancestors to build. Yeah, you built this beautiful country, but only under the intelligence and the instructions and guidance of the highly superior, intelligent white male. Come on, man. Some of them think like that. They may even feel a little sympathy, but they feel like it's a good thing that they enslaved your ancestors because they used your ancestors to build something very great. So stop trying. Stop trying to force it down people's throats. A lot of them are not ashamed and they don't want to hear about it. They don't want to hear about how proud you are. You heard that girl in that video. She said, I'm Black and I'm proud. They don't want to hear how proud you are. They don't want to hear what you went through. Your pain and your suffering. They don't care. So just accept that. There's people, they're like that. They don't care. I'm okay with that. Even if the entire white population dislike Black people, I just have to accept it. Like, okay, it is what it is. I don't care what reality holds for me. Just tell me what reality is. I'm going to deal with it. Okay? But African American studies, this is more reason why we need our own state. And listen, this shows that there's a sizable portion of the white population don't want to know about African American history, don't want to know about Black people. We don't want to hear no Black History Month. So let's give these people their own state. Give them their own state. That might bring some peace to the country. This might become a more peaceful country, maybe even significantly. The path that we're on right now, I think, is intentionally trying to trigger race tension, race wars. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Many of you have heard of things being done to try to incite racial hostility and tension. Several things. I mean, you look at these so-called riots where police units or people, somebody in the government, leaving slabs of bricks, trying to encourage people to riot and loot. Okay? I don't want to be a part of a country like that, where you got lunatics like that. Okay? Now, how many of y'all heard about this? This article surfaced, it's got no date on this thing, if I'm not mistaken, recently. Where's the date? Yesterday. They just wrote yesterday, okay. That Texas shooter pled guilty in a racist 2019 Walmart attack. This guy killed, I think, 23 people. Was it? Yeah, 23 people in a racially motivated attack. Walked in and started shooting people. There are people like that who are racist. Some of these racists are bona fide terrorists that have been identified by even the government. FBI have identified them as domestic terrorists because they do everything that terrorists do. They will attack masses of people. Okay, now if people like this are in their own state, what reason do they have now to carry out attacks against others? You know, the bottom line here is that there are too many lunatics. There are too many lunatics. And I'm not trying to reform them. I'm not trying to reform no lunatics. Let's say we get a black state. Even if we do get a black state, we still got to deal with the lunatic black people who might move there. You know, society is messed up enough as it is. Even without racism, we still got a whole bunch of problems that we need to deal with, both blacks and whites. But when you add this extra dynamic of racism, you're just killing yourself. Digging your own grave. Look at this. Studies suggest systemic racism might contribute to inflammation. Discrimination increases inflammation. Put you at a higher risk for inflammatory disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. Just like it messes up everything. It's like a constant tension, unsettling of the nerves. It's abnormal. We are not supposed to deal with something like racism, oppression. And it always stresses out the victims, those who are in the dominant society, don't know what it's like. Now, I'm going to share this. I'm not going to go over this. They got some key takeaways. Inflammatory markers are elevated in Black and Hispanic people who have faced high levels of everyday discrimination. These Black and Hispanic participants also had the highest levels of bacterium called P. corpori, which has been linked to rheumatoid arthritis. So it your health. Yeah, we know that. That's why we need that check. That check and that state. All right? Now we can probably work something out. You cut that check, we might haul off and buy a state. Yeah? I found this goofy article that surfaced today. Letter. Acknowledge problem with racism. Oh boy. It seems that some Clark County council members wish to change the wording of the NAACP's proclamation because it offends their sensibilities to acknowledge the truth. Violence against African Americans is a stain on our country that cannot be erased. We can only hope to educate our populace so moving forward, all Americans can enjoy the promise of a free country with justice for all. No. They want us, Black Americans, to look at being free as reparations. Look, we ain't enslaving you no more. That's justice. No. Don't let them set the narrative. This is very tricky. It can't be erased. Slavery can't be erased. So, okay, it can't be erased. So what can we do? Well, we can only hope. Hope to educate. Hope to educate. Educate what? What specifically do you want to inform people of after you inform them of slavery? Educate what you're going to teach them, that they should be sensitive and shouldn't make mockery of the history? No. I mean, I don't co-sign with no education. The history of slavery in America cannot be erased, so cut my check. It might not be able to be erased, but you can do something to sort of fix it. You can bring some closure somewhat to it, somewhat. Because really cutting us a check, like I said before, that's the least that they could do. The very least. I don't want to hear see, the history of African American slavery cannot be erased. So rather than give you your check, rather than repay you for all that we've stolen from you, rather than repay you for all those generations of free labor we took from you, let's just hope and educate and appreciate that nobody's enslaved today. That's all this is. Just to take your attention away from the fact that they owe us money. What do you think they enslaved us for? They enslaved us for money. They literally stole money, wealth from us on an individual level. Each family, a lifetime. And remember, a family consists of multiple people. So each person in the family could accumulate wealth. Well, they did. And that wealth was taken by their masters. And the government sanctioned this. This was government sanctioned. The same government that we have today. Words matter. This article says, what is the point of a proclamation if it refuses to admit there's a problem with racism? African Americans have resisted racism that prevents their families from thriving and from living their best lives. The ongoing oppression is evident, with police killings that continue despite our outrage, with workers who taunt fellow workers with racial slurs, with landlords who deny housing to people of color. The first step, they segue into people of color. I thought we were talking about black people, but anyways, the first step towards reconciliation is admitting the truth, especially if it is not an uplifting truth. And that's the end of the article. Huh? No, the first step towards reconciliation is giving those people back what you stole from them. All of this feel-good rhetoric is meant to touch your emotions, tickle your emotions. Look, we're reaching out to you. We love you. We want to hug you. Isn't that valuable? Isn't that what you want? Isn't that your dream? To be accepted by me, for me to accept you? You ever see there are some white people who believe that their acceptance of you, they believe that you should see you should appreciate that a lot. They'll smile and say hi to you and wait for your face to light up. Aren't you happy? I accepted you. I'm nice to you. In the back of their mind, there are many white people who are fully aware that a lot of black people, they rest the quality of their existence on the degree to which white people accept them. Their self-value is based on the degree to which white people accept them. Let me tell you, that's a problem for anybody. That's even if it's not on a racial level. If you got people of the same race where one person measures their self-worth on the degree to which they're accepted by another, that's a problem. And that's unacceptable. Y'all think we chasing acceptance. We chasing checks. We chasing repayment for what you stole from generations of my ancestors. We're talking hundreds of years here. This is not some type of game, something that you can fix by giving me a hug. What is wrong with y'all? These places y'all take with these discussions about reparations confuses me. I'm thinking about all that wealth that my ancestors accumulated for other people. And those other people passed it down to their offspring, built businesses for them, homes for them, while we were forced into impoverishment, manipulated, and we're still targeted. The welfare system, Planned Parenthood, all targeted the black family. Only because of outside forces did we have some 80-90% black homes, two-parent, in the late 1800s. Early 1900s as well. Late 1800s, early 1900s, 80 to 90% black homes, two-parent. And then almost overnight, single parents dominate. Yeah, that also impairs our ability to amass wealth. To be honest with you, I cannot off the top of my head list everything that was done to us that impaired our ability to accumulate wealth. If any of you can come up with anything, please share it with the rest of us in the comment section. But this is justice. There's no greater injustice right now that hasn't been repaid or compensated. And a big reason why people try to avoid this discussion is because they know that the debt is massive. They've even said it. The debt is too massive. We can't repay you for slavery. Well, you don't have to go broke. Because right now, you're not even giving us $5. You haven't given us nothing. I mean, black Americans haven't even been given the opportunity to not pay taxes. We don't have no reparations like the Indians. We don't have our own police force like they have. They got their own police force. these reservations. They police themselves like black people should be doing. We didn't even get $1,000 reparations check. Where's our check? And don't get stupid now. Don't try to get sarcastic and send, oh, here's $1,500. This is reparations. No, you're going to have to break bread. That's true justice. You want to make things right for this terrible, wicked history? Cut that check. You know, like you cut a whole bunch of other people. You know, giving checks, money away like it's going out of style. Burning money, going out into space, doing goofy stuff, doing all types of goofy stuff. Rather, you could have been made that effort. You notice how America tries to project itself as, we want to do the right thing. We want justice, right? We're trying, we want to do. No, if you were really that serious about trying to do something in response to slavery, to Jim Crow, to all the attacks on us economically. Right now, they have done and they don't talk about doing nothing. I don't want no HBCU. I don't want no college tuition. Don't talk about free college. I don't want to hear no free education. Free education. If you're smart enough to go to college, then you smart enough to learn pretty much everything in that college right at home. I don't want to hear about no education. We talking about money, just like other people got money. And always keep in mind, as long as they deny reparations, that is their way of slapping us in the face and continuing to treat us like slaves. Man, oh man. So don't get bent out of shape. If you're going to get bent out of shape about something, let it be about your check that you're supposed to get. Right? Don't let people's brainless attacks against you bother you. That is over irrelevant. Okay, we got bigger fish to fry. Okay? And if other people can demand reparation, and they do, proudly, don't let anybody try to make you feel ashamed for doing the same thing. Right? Shout out to Learning from Life with Ashley, who has been a mad supporter of my content. I got banned from my other channel where I talk about how much I hate dogs, and I'm still a little salty about that. I got banned. I get a lot of support and love. Very appreciative of the crowd there. And we will eventually create a dog-free world. And I'm going to have my book done this year. And it will be out this year. I guarantee that. And hopefully it will be a bestseller. Hopefully. And it's only a matter of time. What am I talking about? There's no fingers crossed here. It will happen. But that is for another video. Shout out to everybody able to join me, and I will see you all on the next.